All right, everybody, we are back. A big thank you for sticking with us. Tukey here, of course, joined alongside Mr. Sin for the win as we continue on with our coverage of the ECL Elite Division playoffs right here on Sports Gamer. Now, Sin, we've already seen a lot here today, both, of course, on broadcast, the first three games of Goons and Urabro hockey. Goons now up 3-0 in that series. And a look at the bracket for as things stand now as we get ready to switch into coverage for our next series. A lot has happened. In that first series, of course, we will be switching over to our coverage of that. hREDS and Conquer Gaming. hREDS with a convincing Game 1 victory as the number 1 seed. No real surprise there. But off broadcast for Lunda, completing the sweep of Roots Gaming. Havu coming back from 2-0 down to tie it at 2-2. And then, of course, what we saw with Goons.
Yeah, and that's good for Havu, but it kind of rekindles the fire under that narrative of Sawo being unable to close out a playoff series, getting the 2-0 series lead here, and then giving it back up to Havu, who obviously made the adjustments necessary that they needed to do to get back in the series, and it's now a best of 3 between those two clubs here on out.
So again, tomorrow will be our final day of coverage of the opening round, and we will wait to see who we have on broadcast. From the looks of it, our primary coverage should be Sawo and Havu, and we'll see if Conquer can kind of battle back here over these next two games to make that series a little bit more interesting. Again, Conquer did have success against hREDS in the regular season. But that is your updated look at the playoffs and as things stand. So let's start to set the stage for this matchup here as we get a look at the team stats from the regular season between hREDS and Conquer. Again, hREDS are number 1 seed for a reason, 2-time defending champions. But what's surprising to me is that Conquer were able to sneak into that 8th seed with that negative goal differential.
Yeah, absolutely. That we saw that quite a bit. A few teams with positive records, yet negative goal differentials here, and that's always kind of be something that we have to take a look at. Especially, it's just simply magnified when you go up against a team like hREDS here, who are really one of the best teams in every single category across the board, if not the best.
Very much proven by the fact that hREDS are leading that first game and have won that first game by the score of 8-0. So we hope to certainly see a better effort from Conquer here as the series goes on. These will be the lineups, though, for this particular matchup for Conquer Gaming. There's going to be the front three of Vira, Ginu, and Yerax, Katanarski, and Yalkin on defense with Monkeyhead in goal. On the other side for the champs, the lineup that's been getting it done, Villapoica, Benito, and now Nikkei NHL. Of course, we'll still call him Nicky Daniels from time to time. We can't help but do that. Domi and King of Apes on defense, and FaZe in goal. Brings us to that center comparison, as always, Ginu and Benito to start things off here, Sin. And I'll ask you, as the numbers get brought up in just a moment for that center comparison, I mean, what stands out from you, and is it just the obvious?
It has to be the obvious. That's what you have to look at. This series is all about the obvious. We're looking for Conquer to kind of break the trend here. That's really all you can do in this situation, because every single matchup that we're going to see here, the advantage is going to go to hREDS there, not only in face-off, points, goals, assists. I'm pretty sure Benito led his team in points throughout the course. Yes, he absolutely did. Led his team in points throughout the course of this regular season, was right up in the top 3 for all the major stats, goals, assists, and points. It's just, incredible. He's been such a strong presence here for hREDS.
Second only to Ferlunda's Playmaker in terms of points in the regular season. Again, a reminder for hREDS, similar to what we mentioned for Ferlunda in yesterday's coverage, only 29 of the 30 games technically played due to a walkover, aka forfeit victory that was at the end of the season. The wingers in this matchup, Vire and Yerax for Conquer Gaming up against Villapoica and Nikkei NHL, of course. And again, very similar story here, but very respectable numbers on the other side there, though, for Conquer.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's not too bad. And Yerax, a huge physical presence there. 130 hits right there, which is, we don't see that with forwards as much of the time, but that's definitely a good presence to kind of have. If he can try to do his best to kind of throw Domi and King of Apes off their game, you never know what can happen. Obviously, easier said than done. And you see the point totals of Villapoica, Nikkei NHL, they're absolutely insane. Almost identical shot totals, too, from the pair of them, which is very kind of eerie.
Absolutely. The defensive comparison here next. Again, Katanarski and Yalkin against Domi and King of Apes. Katanarski, a strong rookie season. Yalkin as well, playing the vast majority of their games, but they are in this direct head-to-head matchup against the arguably best defensive pairing, not just in Europe, but in the world.
Absolutely. And it's you can't really get around that. They are incredible at shutdown. They're incredible at putting up points as well. And they have times where they can be physical presences on that blue line as well. But really, what does it for me is their ability to poke check and intercept. And you see that constantly, especially from the likes of Domi. He's just always in that kind of perfect positioning to make those plays on the puck. And the second they do that, the counterattack comes back the other way.
And of course, our final head to head, it is the goaltending monkey head against FaZe. Sin FaZe led all goaltenders in save percentage this season. We talked a lot about how this hREDS team kind of formed, and certainly that crown jewel piece that they were able to pick up has been FaZe. He has been absolutely outrageous over the past few seasons.
Yeah, had a potential chance to go after that cop base shutout record, but actually didn't even play a full season. And it looks like he missed a day or two of playing right there. But 25 games played, still 10 shutouts, and an absolutely insane save percentage, and a goals against average of 1 on the dot is unreal. Monkey had, though, a solid season out of him, right where you want to be. 6 shutouts. I mean, that's pretty impressive. So I mean, you never know if he's able to have pretty steal a game or so against hREDS in this series. That could be massive for Conquer.
A look at the latest results here again as we get ready for games 2 and 3 between hREDS and Conquer Gaming. Again, as we saw or as we heard, hREDS an 8-0 victory in game number 1. We don't have that third game up there from Goons and Urabro, but we know Goons are up 3-0. Frölunda completing the sweep of Roots, and of course now also unreported yet on the site, but Havu now tying their series up against Sawo, and that will be our main focus tomorrow is that battle of 3 Sawo, 6 Havu, because that series is by far the closest that we have seen so far.
Yeah, absolutely. One series over already, another one 3-0 here, and I'm sure if you're a betting person, then you would put pretty good amount of money on hREDS perhaps being up 3-0 against Conquer here, but crazier things have happened, and Conquer looking to bounce back after that game 1 performance.
A reminder as well of what these teams are playing for, because hRED's very much in that spotlight there, Sin. Again, it was the first season of our new split format there to crown a potential grand champion. It's supposed to be the winner of each season going head to head in that final. Here's the problem. hREDS won the winter season. They are the number 1 seed heading into the spring playoffs as well. If hREDS win both seasons, they are grand champions without a series. If a different team wins our spring season here, there will be a grand final. All of this leads, of course, to June 17th and 18th, our 2-day event for our spring final. Sin and I will be there live in Helsinki covering all the action there. And if there is a grand final to be played, that will be on June 19th, the next day on the Sunday. So still a lot to decide here as we head into the month of June and over the next few weeks as we wrap up what has been an absolutely incredible season here. And of course, the playoffs, not really disappointing too much. I mean, yes, there have been some rather one-sided games to a point, but at the same time, at least the games that have been blowouts, super high scoring. I mean, again, seeing some of the best offenses really kind of go to work.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we kind of saw, especially from Goons. They just continued to get better as that went on, and has been incredibly impressive for them. And hREDS starting off on the strong foot in this first game with an 8-0 victory. We're going to see, the response now coming out from Conquer and what they're going to be able to do with that, obviously in response there. But yeah, it's the Havu and Sawo series really kind of going down to the wire. Those first 2 games were very, very close despite despite Sabo getting the decision in both of them. But the pushback from Havu today, exactly what the doctor ordered here. And I think you said it best. Tomorrow is going to be a very interesting day to watch those 2 teams.
Absolutely. Again, we still want to see the best and worst that NHL 22 has offered to you. Again, on Instagram and Twitter, use the hashtag eHockeyMoments when sharing your clips. You'll have an opportunity to win some IQ Fuel. We are selecting a winner every single week until the end of June. So make sure to get those moments in as well. And again, as always, sportsgamer.gg for all the information that you need with everything going on with Sports Gamer, especially as well. The Wilhelm eHockey Tour stops every single weekend. Make sure to get involved with that if you can. Sin, we are about ready to go for game 2. We didn't get to see it on broadcast, but I am very intrigued to see how Conquer respond to dropping game 1 8-0, because again, you talk about looking for a building block. There's not too much of a building block there. If your only takeaway was, well, at least it wasn't double digits, that's not exactly where you wanted to start off a series. Again, against the team, Conquer did have some success in the regular season. They are in the, let's go with the all red jerseys, and of course, hREDS in their cream colored road jerseys as well. As the action gets underway here, it is game number 2. In this series, hREDS, the number 1 seed. 2-time defending champions, as a rare mistake there from King of Apes leads to an early icing call.
And the offensive zone drop for Conquer here. And I think the key for them is to try to get off to a good start. I mean, it's going to be hard to maintain any kind of lead, but get yourself feeling good early on.
Poke check there by Villapoica to knock that one away. We said it on the previous show, myself and B Mages. You can catch that on our YouTube channel, if I am not mistaken. That it almost felt like, in a sense, hREDS continued to just say, like, hey, let's be an even more defensively solid team. We talked about Villapoica's point totals dropping by, I mean, close to a third, if not maybe closer to a fourth. Like, his numbers dropped pretty staggeringly. This team still won that number 1 seed convincingly.
Yeah,
it's one of those things where just the amount of weapons that they have, it's just unbelievable. And you talked about Pika Roger almost being a Nikkei NHL clone at this point, just because of the constant evolution we've seen from him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, very similar to development trajectory where he bursts on the scene with this amazing and offensive talent. And he says, you know what, I'm going to add this other element. And we saw it all throughout those first 3 games. He was making tremendous defensive plays all over the ice. And that's kind of exactly what we saw from Nicky Dangles as he kind of jumped onto the scene, won that the rookie of the season award, and then decided, hey, you know what, I'm going to work on my defensive game. His point totals pulled back again. And now, as you see him, he dominates on the scoring sheet and still has that incredible 2-way game.
Early offside call here, nearly halfway through this first period. Yarax will dump that one around. Okay, they're on defense to help out. Again by Yarax to get into that passing lane. And Conquer, the biggest underdogs as always, as the 8th seed will be. Trying to make something happen here. We know they're playing with house money. It's a big enough accomplishment. Great block by Yalkin. Great enough accomplishment to have made the playoffs for them. And you talked about it. Hey, let's at least win a game and see what we can build on that. You know, you never know what might happen. Xerax's shot straight into the glove of FaZe. He makes it look so easy.
Yeah, I don't mind that mentality right there from Conquer, though, just kind of shooting the puck. Sometimes you go up against a goaltender of FaZe's quality, you're kind of almost intimidated by it. You're looking for too good of a chance right now, but I like that from Conquer. Just throw the puck on at times.
A bit of contact in the corner there. hREDS getting going down the other way. Adanarski tried to hold him up the line, still fighting with Benito. That one-timer, great glove save there. Monkey Head denying the chance.
Really good positioning from him to kind of slide right out towards the top of the net as Domi crept into that, so important one-time position for the left defense right there, kind of crossing the ice towards the high slot and towards that screen left-hand side of the circle there. Big save.
Sent around the back of the net. First goal going to be very, very important in this second game. Here's Villapoica ahead of steam. It's in front now around the back of the net after deflecting. Conquer Gaming. Viewed by many as relegation fodder. They do make the playoffs. For the very first time. It's an icing call here. They'll have an offensive zone draw.
And so far, so good for them. They're able to keep hREDS at bay for the most part. They're getting a couple chances here and there, and another offensive zone face-off. The problem is they only have, as you saw right there, a quick flash, 12 seconds time at attack. They got to make the most out of this offensive zone draw, but Benito, being the person he is in that face-off dot, doesn't allow them to.
Big issue. Got to try to get some extra face-off wins, but so much easier said than done against a centerman the caliber of Benito, the captain of this hREDS team. Has been able to put the pieces in place to build arguably the best squad in the world. Again, that dream of a three-peat very much alive. Gonna take care of business here against Conquer, and it's a little bit surprising. Again, they win 8-0 in game one. It's been a bit of a slow start, only forcing that one big save so far from Monkeyhead.
Yeah, and this is the third icing that they've committed as well here, and they're, giving Conquer the chances.
Yarax can't get that shot off. Vera is with him. Defense just able to stifle Conquer so far. Pass off the mark here will pretty much bring us to the final minute of play here in the first period. Again, we're covering games 2 and 3 of this series, and it all leads to tomorrow, as we'll follow as much as we can, wrapping up these series. Of course, Havu and Sawa will take center stage. Great chance late, as FaZe makes a pretty big stop, keeping this a goalless affair through the opening 20 minutes.
That was a really nice play coming out from Conquer. Kodanarski just ahead of steam down that left wing side and fed that one all the way across. It found Yedax, and you said it, just a really good read by FaZe to defend against it. And had that puck gone over to Ginu perhaps instead, or I'm not too sure if it's him or Viere on that kind of left-hand side, he would have gotten beat right there, but he read it, as we said, perfectly and was able to make the stop. And Conquer Gaming throughout that first period, just 22 seconds of time at attack. It's essentially, if you're below 30 seconds, that really kind of means that you didn't really possess the puck for any kind of, decent stretch of time in a period. Usually if you get about 30 seconds of time in attack, that's like one solid kind of zone possession. But to be sub 30, it's just essentially like, just possession off of rust chances, which is what all they've had to really work with here. They haven't won those face-offs off those icings. They weren't able to kind of, capitalize on those small mistakes that hREDS were making. And although they do have the advantage in face-off wins, it was the important ones that Benito won, those defensive zone draws.
I mean, absolutely. You certainly put a higher importance on that, as we do see an early timeout here. Obviously not in the aftermath of when we typically see one.
And is that a disconnect?
It might very well be, unfortunately. Okay, so it does look like we likely... All right, so we do officially have a disconnect here at the start of the second period. We'll await word from the teams on what they want to do. Typically, two options here, Sin. Either they'll restart the game and just let the first period go by to make sure they have that real-time final minute, or they'll just get the action going underway, and technically the first period will be the second. We'll change it on the scoreboard so it doesn't look any different. So again, we will await word to see what happens between those two. Okay, and we do have the official word that they are going to go with the latter. So there will be no wait. We'll get right back into it. The first period will technically be the second, and we will continue on as needs to be. Which honestly, I mean, Sin, as much as you like the real-time final minute in the third period, the odds, I mean, it's really not all that often you end up in a scenario, at least from my recollection, of really needing that final minute to try and get that goal. At least certainly so far in the playoffs, it's been decided well before the final minute of play.
Yeah,
With the
there
exception
has
of
been.
one game yesterday, I should say. There was some craziness with 2 goals in the final minute for one of those games yesterday.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but in the scenario where this happens, like if there's disconnect issues, yeah, you're right. It's kind of rare that necessary last minute comes in as clutch as it does. But and there's even some professional players out there who just, they think they don't really like the whole last minute of real time and things like that. They think it should just be full the full fast clock, because again, when it comes to taking those penalties at those stages in the game, they're magnified that much more, and that's kind of where the community is split a little bit. Me personally, I think taking those penalties at clutch times, it should matter a little bit more. But of course, I'm not playing at the high level that some of these guys are who dislike that whole aspect of it. But yeah, nonetheless, we'll just be picking up. First period will count as second, and won't have to worry about that real time minute. And unless we get to overtime here, which I think Conquer would be thrilled if they're able to do that.
Yeah, fortunately, no extra point there for making it to overtime, though, at this stage. So, at the very least, though, again, Conquer playing for, playing for a little bit of pride, but at the same time, you don't want to be dismissive of the fact that, hey, you never know. Again, it's one of the top 8 teams in Europe at this stage. They can kind of take that step forward and, potentially snag a game or two here, but we'll see. I mean, again, scoreless at the end of the first period. So, no guarantees of what might happen. But again, a look here at the latest results and the updated numbers here within these current ongoing series. Again, Havu have come back to tie the series up at 2 apiece. Earlier on in this broadcast, we saw Goons take a 3-0 lead over Urabro, especially off the back of that 8-0 victory in Game 3. And Frölunda completing the sweep over Roots Gaming.
Yeah, and I'm just really excited for tomorrow, really, to be able to get a glimpse of that Havu Savo series. I mean, those first 2 games were so close, and the Goons series didn't kind of pan out how we expected, but it was a real treat to watch Goons do what they did. And for Lunda, I mean, holding Roots to just 1 goal in each of those games, really hard for Roots to really get that offense going. But I guess to be expected when you play one of those top teams like Frölunda or hREDS.
Absolutely. So again, we are just about ready to go here to continue on with Game 2. It will technically be the second period as the teams are once again matched up. We'll see what happens. And Sin, really, we talk about it often when when something like this happens. What team does it benefit in a sense? I mean, does it give Conquer that bit of extra time to maybe talk things over, or perhaps hREDS, who didn't get off to the high flying start, maybe it benefits them just that little bit more?
Yeah, it's hard to say in this situation. I think with the 0-0 game, I have no clue how to call it. And, I think you may be right. For hREDS, they really didn't get off to the start that I think that they would have wanted to. We saw like 3 icing plays and some errant passes that we usually just simply don't see them making. The problem was Conquer weren't able to capitalize on that. So hard to really speculate on. And I'm sure we won't really try too long on this one. Just happy to get back into the action here.
Absolutely. And again, oftentimes, we speculate and things go the complete opposite way. The
Absolutely.
commentator's curse is certainly alive and well. As always, we've tried our best to not influence things too much by making any form of prediction. But as you see, we are just about ready to go, just finishing up the syncing process. And we'll see what happens. So again, second period of Game 2, hREDS fresh off of an 8-0 victory in Game number 1. And we'll see what happens as this continues on. Second period here in Game 2. Let's see how this goes. Again, it is hREDS, the road team in this one. Conquer in those home Reds. First goal, very, very important after this restart. Like we'll send that one back down. hREDS. Controlled exit here to get things going. Job though by Conquer, patrolling the wrong blue line. Here's Yalkin stepping up. Numbers here for Conquer Gaming. He tried to send it across. Again, who else? It looked like Nike was there to break that one up.
Yeah, good breakup right there, but I like that from Conquer. A quick little counterattack. Maybe you'd like to see Yalkin perhaps just rip that puck on next time instead of trying to force that pass towards the middle, because we know just hRED's such a good defensive team that they're not going to give you those kind of looks. They're well aware of who's over there, who's ready for the passes. The forces can work, but perhaps maybe a bit more beneficial to rip that one on and look for a rebound.
Back to the point here. Now it's Domi, and a shot. They score. Domi shot blocked. Nick is right there to pick that one up. Throws it into the back of the net. 1-0 hREDS.
And there's the response from hREDS. A quick chance one way for Conquer. They're not able to even register a shot on it. hREDS come back the other way, find that middle of the ice. Nicky puts that one home. And 1-0 here for hREDS in the second.
It's now 9-0. The total goals in this series so far. Villapoica, a bit of space to work with. Good poke check there by Katanarski to take it away. Another poke check. Here's Yerax. That pass off the mark. Good job there by Avira. He takes this one away. To the point with Katanarski. His shot blocked. Back to the point again. Katanarski spinning out of trouble. Gets back to the forehand shot. Rebound just out of the reach. A backhand shovel attempt. Just couldn't get it.
It's a really nice look coming out from Conquer right there, and that's exactly the kind of plays that they're going to need to look for. Again, it's not going to be so often you're going to find those higher percentage passing plays towards the slot for those one-timers, so I like the mentality there. Just a low kind of shot. Gino right there on the doorstep, just unable to get a stick on it.
It's off here. Conquer in control. Again, very strong start face-off-wise in that first period as well. So kick save there by FaZe. Over the line. Spin pass. And back to the point again. Let's see what Nick can do. Tried to go down low for Benito. Nobody home. There for Yerax. There might be a trip. Step up hit as the puck's dumped in. Katanarski again. Still think he has a realistic shout for Rookie of the Year. I mean, think about just the impact that he's had defensively for a team that's finally made it into the playoffs.
Yeah, I definitely think, he's got to be in that conversation, at least a little bit. But, of course, I think the season from, I believe, Lightning it was such a good impact.
A trip there. Conquer Gaming going to the power play here with 7 minutes to go in the second period.
And this could be exactly what they kind of need here. That's a bit of a reckless poke coming out from the captain, Benito, as he's just kind of spinning in place and not exactly where he wanted to direct that, I'm sure. Nonetheless, he'll sit for two. And Conquer, big chance here to even this game up, but they are going against the top penalty kill.
And off the draw, Vera nearly walked it out of his own zone. Katanarski will go down low to him. Tried to go back, and again we see it. The pass is back to the point, not having that pickup option on the strong side, and nobody can get it. And right now, it's going from bad to worse for Conquer.
Yeah, an errant pass after that, and all of a sudden, half the power play is gone.
And another offside call there. Self-inflicted wounds for Conquer. Again, we've seen that, like you said, Sam, earlier in the action today and all season long, all game long for NHL 22. Just those passes back are super dangerous if you don't have a left-handed shot along the left side wall. Katanarski gets this one now. Vera, nowhere to go. Back off the back of the net. Villapoica sends it all the way down. That will basically do it. Nothing really there for Conquer on that power play. Too many mistakes. We're back to 5-on-5. 4.5 to go here in the second period. And again, another offside.
Yeah, it's just that blue line stand from hREDS. They do it so well, perhaps better than anyone else in Europe, perhaps in the world. They're just so good, and you're seeing Conquer struggle with it right now. And I'd like to see them, maybe break out some of the dump and chases. I think, that's definitely a way you can at least start to get behind them. And as we see with those bouncing pucks, well, there it is. You never know what can kind of happen. Perfectly placed behind the net. They don't win that battle right there, but that's the kind of mentality. It's less of a clean breakout as you saw them pressuring hREDS all the way up the ice.
There's Villapoica. Goes back to the point now. Domi right to him. See what he can do down low. Again, they're going to flip this one out. A race for the puck. You have Apes able to handle it. 1.5 to go. Down low in the corner, Yalkin. Leads it all the way up ice into the attacking zone, and again waits just a little bit too long to make a decision. Villapoica shot on, swept away by Yerax. And with that, second period comes to a close. It is still 1-0 in favor of hREDS, thanks to this goal from the former Nicky Dangles, now Nicky NHL.
Yeah, just a really nice play to get that into the slot, and he shoots it low opposite side. Just way too much lateral movement for Monkey Head to continue to adjust to, and Nicky know that, and he's just threw that one on net. But yeah, a bit of a slower game in terms of where hREDS is concerned, I'm sure, after 2 periods just having the single goal to their credit, which means, you know, Conquer's still in it. It's just been a bit harder for them to get all that offensive zone time. They do have more than hREDS. Technically, it's really been a neutral zone kind of battle. If I'm thinking back, trying to combine it from the first one, that'll still be only about 2 minutes of time in attack or so for hREDS. Obviously, you know, capitalizing pretty quickly on that one. But yeah, definitely not quite the dominant performance that we would expect out of them at this stage of the game, but they still have that 1-0 lead headed into the third period. And obviously, they're a very, very good third period team here. Conquer's going to have to find some kind of advantage, some kind of play here to get the to find a bit of life and get some scoring chances.
Third period underway in game 2. Again, game 3 coming up after the conclusion of this one. ECL Elite Division action. Close call, close moments for Monkey Head there, but ECL Elite Division action brought to you by our friends at Wilhelm, Govan Lockertzy, and ST Hockey. You're watching the opening round matchup, best of 7, between our number 1 seed in hREDS and the 8th seed Conquer Gaming. hREDS a commanding 8-0 victory in game 1. This one much closer, and Monkey Head again, the goaltender for Conquer, standing tall and keeping his team within striking distance.
And that was Villapoik on the secondary opportunity, a guy whose name we call out pretty much constantly when hREDS are getting those shots from the points, and he's finding his way into those soft spots for those loose pucks, for those rebounds. Just one of the best at that in hockey IQ and positioning.
And that backhand is stopped. Another big moment there. On the back of the net, this one's going to go all the way down. Jalkin has it. Over for Vera. Let's see what he can do. Throws it in front, and it's in! Unbelievable! Caught me off guard, to say the least. Conquer Gaming have tied it. Given what is technically the third period, I thought it was going to deflect wide, but no, it beats FaZe.
I like it. Ginu just kind of rips it right there on the 1T. If you can't force those backdoor passes, get that one-time chance a bit higher in the zone off the rush. What's what happened right there? Ginu shot it, hits off someone. I think it was the defender, and finds its way past FaZe. Tie game here for Conquer.
Just completely caught me off guard. Not often we'll stumble over the words to that extent. Make the comparison to, I don't know, Sin, there's a certain person who was a star of a show 20 years ago called Viva La Bea. That was my impersonation, my best attempt. I don't know if you want to mention it, check it out. But we are tied here, 1-1. Conquer Gaming on the board when they needed it the most. Again, losing game 1 by the score of 8-0. This one tied, but for how long? Good shot block there. Conquer back in control. Decent possession here as well. Gadanarski just nowhere to go. Waiting with bated breath to see if he was going to be able to make that pass. Now Conquer playing with that bit of extra confidence now. So
they absolutely are, and I'm not seeing, weirdly, really enough urgency from hREDS right now. You know, they can definitely outskill this team, but also in the playoffs, you'd love to see that urgency. 2-on-1 now for Conquer.
Let's see what they can do. Jalkin across. And the layout block from King of Apes takes it away. Very, very close call, but they do get the job done. That one played back and around. Another opportunity here. Perhaps loose puck just out of the reach of Ginu there in the middle.
I'm loving the off-the-board slap passes coming out from Conquer. Try to stretch that game out. If you don't allow hREDS to set up on that blue line, you have a bit of a better chance of getting in. Obviously, one-on-one plays against King of Apes are Domi hard, but they're finding a way to make it work right now and conquer, stifling hREDS as they try to cross the line right now too, and able to feed their own counterattack.
Shot on, kick save by Monkey Head. Puck still loose, and he finds it in the crease. 4:50 to go, and a tie game here in the third period. How about that from Conquer Gaming?
Yeah, kind of getting down to crunch time right here, and Conquer getting some chances to be able to get that go-ahead goal, but obviously hREDS are going to be hungry to get the go-ahead goal of their own as well.
Benito with the puck. Villapoica. Nicky Dangles just running out of space there. That backhand thrown on. Yalkin able to intercept it. Stretch pass. What a pick off by Domi. Viray trying to keep it alive. On the corner. Yerax here. Boy, Viray, let's see what he can do. Bumped off the puck. Handled well. hREDS letting their competition kind of hang around here. But that shot just goes wide. All the way around for Viray, who's able to pick it up. Great defense, though, by King of Apes. What a move there by Villapoica. Battle for it in the corner. Final minute again. It'll be a fast final minute as opposed to the real time. Are we destined for overtime here in game 2? King of Apes, final 10 seconds here. Domi has it. Great defense by Conquer. Yerax gets it back to the neutral zone. Benito shot saved by Monkey Head. And indeed, from an 8-0 blowout win to a 1-1 scoreline heading into overtime here in game 2.
Good response from Conquer. That's really kind of all you could say about it. That's just exactly what they needed to do. Don't let hREDS get off to an early flurry of goals, and they did that enough in the beginning. Obviously, the reset kind of played into that a little bit, but again, it was a 0-0 scoreline. They had a great first period, and what else can you say about it? I mean, just a tremendous job of sticking with it. Their goal, maybe a bit fortuitous, but I like their mentality. Oftentimes on those rushes, they stop trying to force the middle as much, looking for a bit more open of an area and taking those shots on. So yeah, indeed, goes off of the knee of Domi right there, and then into the back of the net on FaZe. That counted as the game-tying goal here, and you never know. We'll see if they can perhaps get the winner here in overtime.
Big moment in this series coming up here, Sin. If Conquer get the win, it's a 1-1 split, and maybe, just maybe, they have life in this series. Otherwise, commanding a 2-0 lead for hREDS heading into that third game, which again will be coming up on broadcast. We've still got a bit of a ways to go, all heading into the final leg of our opening round matchup tomorrow, and highlighted by what is now best of 3 between Sabo Gaming and Havu. Melinda so far, the lone team of the 4 matchups to secure their spot in round 2. We'll have an offensive zone draw here for hREDS.
This is exactly the kind of thing that hREDS can sort of strike on a seemingly insignificant and harmless play before, but they have a lot of weapons off these face-offs.
One set play could be the difference, but it is Conquer who get the win. Adanarski dumps it in. They're going back to it. Bouncing puck. Villapoica was able to glove it down. Benito turns it over. Viray shot. Stopped by FaZe. Good work from Conquer, keeping it simple.
Absolutely, and keeping it simple is going to be key here in this overtime. hREDS will make you pay for those fancy plays if they lead to mistakes here. So what do you see? Pucks in deep, and then kind of forecheck on your way back of keeping possession.
Trying to get that puck back. It is Domi now for hREDS. Villapoica has a step on the defender, drives the net, puck in front. And a good job there by Sentiment there. Dino able to take it away. Viray. Nowhere to go. So close yet so far. That one extra possession might just be what they need. So it is Domi here. Circling back, 5 men at the blue line, dump and chase. Yalkin, puck turned over for the moment. Vera can't hold it either. Yerax has a step on the defender. Yerax drives, saved by FaZe. Shot from Katanarski doesn't go. Vera back to the point. Yalkin's shot blocked down. Close calls there for Conquer. They very much have the chance to win this game.
Absolutely, just inches away right there. What a save by FaZe that was off that initial chance, and then kind of the flurry that started after that. But Conquer looking extremely good here in overtime.
King of Apes now over the line. Villapoika can't hold on to it. Vire poked. Loses the puck. Katanarski, though, able to recover. They'll turn this one over, too. Giving hREDS those extra attacking zone opportunities, not what they need. Trouble here. hREDS still keeping that pressure on. Here's Villapoika. Gets it back from King of Apes. Wanted to go around the back, still holding on. Gets it to Nike. Back for King of Apes. His shot blocked by the man in front. Just folds him in the corner. Conquer Gaming trying to get going. This game starting to open up a little bit more. Sustained offensive pressure for both sides. Katanarski again will dump it in, head of steam. Ends up backing off. King of Apes. Ends that one over. Here's Benito. Good bump. Pinch him by Domi. Benito again in the corner. Domi at the point. Right back down to his captain. Benito's shot. Rebound. Katanarski's there. Pressured by all three forwards. Still has the puck. At least clears the zone here for Conquer. Here's Yalkin stepping up. 3 minutes to play here in overtime number 1.
It's just a war in the neutral zone right now as both these teams trying to get those clean entries, and it's simply not there a lot of the times, especially on the side of Conquer.
Falcons feed for Vire doesn't go. We approach the final minute here. Will be a real-time minute. Domi. Corner for Villapoika, gets it back. In front, Benito, backhand, still has it. That shot broken up. Now it's Yerax, head of steam, back to the forehand, in front, loose, puck nearly swept in. Good zone exit there for Benito as hREDS look to reset defensively. Here's Ginu, though, his shot gloved down by FaZe.
It's just such a tall task because the second, even if you get like a chance getting behind the defense or some kind of advantageous situation, it's still FaZe in net. it's such a raw deal for these Conquer forwards as they try to score on him after it takes so much work just to kind of gain that line and get yourself into scoring position.
Villapoika can't hold on to it. Benito. We get it back. Villapoika has it knocked away, and Domi will chase it down back in the neutral zone. Dumped in. Final few seconds of OT1. Loose puck is in! Heartbreak for Conquer Gaming with 4 seconds left. In the overtime, hREDS have a 2-0 series lead. Oh, no.
That one stings. That absolutely stings right there. Good job by hREDS, dumping that puck in, getting some, getting the pressure down low, retrieving the puck, and then trying to get that to the front of the net. But it was just kind of an interesting bounce off of the stick of Nicky there. And then I think off of the foot of Monkeyhead and just trickles in behind him. That's just a rough one, a real rough one right there. But especially considering some of the chances that Conquer were able to get in that one, that was just such a close game. And hREDS will come out on top with the 2-1 overtime victory.
You just don't want to see a game that closely contested end like that. You just don't want to see it end like that. That is a heartbreaker, to say the least. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get a replay of the goal, but it's in fairly obvious, just colliding with the people in front. And ultimately, that puck just finding a way to sneak past Monkeyhead in goal. That is a heartbreaker, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. But it comes down to kind of fundamental plays, and I think that's the advantage. We saw that from Conquer. How some of their chances got started, just simple plays, dump the puck in, pucks and buys to the net. Happened right there for hREDS. Again, not the cleanest goal that you're ever going to see, but it's that mentality that kind of got them there. They were really turned into kind of a neutral zone struggle, and with the time ticking down, instead of going for a clean look, they just dump it in and say, "Okay, get." Pucks in deep, get that puck and put it towards the middle. That's what happened there. And it finds its way into the back of the net.
So with that, the first two games of this series in the books. Game 3 coming up. We'll find out if Conquer can fight their way back into it, or if it will be a 3-0 series lead for hREDS heading into the final day of the quarterfinals tomorrow. We'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsors for our, hard to believe, fifth and final game worth of coverage here on tonight's broadcast. All right, everybody, we are back. And again, a big thank you to our friends at Wilhelm, Kovan Lakotzi, and ST Hockey. As always, send 2 games in the books in this best of 7. You can't have any more drastic, differing games in terms of like opposite ends of the spectrum. Game 1, 8-0 for hREDS. Game 2 comes down to 4 seconds left in overtime. And then we get the winner there for hREDS. Just, again, a heartbreaking, potentially backbreaking goal in this series. I mean, a 2-0 deficit against hREDS as the 8th seed, trying to overcome that. We'll see what happens here in this third game. It needs to be Conquer's best game of the season.
It absolutely does, and they played a pretty darn good game there against hREDS. I would wager it's probably not one of hRED's best performance, and I think they'll be the first ones to tell you that. They kind of really struggled at times, especially in the early going of even having clean zone entries. A lot of kind of errant passes leading to icings and things like that, and that kind of gave Conquer the window. They're able to tie that one up. They had it in the overtime. They had chances in overtime. They simply couldn't find that game-winning goal. It can be so hard, and then, of course, to lose on that with, not only with the kind of goal that was, but with the amount of time left on the clock. They're so close to being able to get a fresh overtime to work with, a fresh perspective, and trickles in just 4 seconds left in sudden death.
Again, you saw it on your screen a moment ago. Looking for your best and worst NHL 22 clips. Share on Twitter and Instagram using the hashtag eHockeyMoments for your chance to win some IQ fuel. And of course, sportsgamer.gg for all the information that you need in regards to everything going on in the world of sports gamer. And of course, as you see on your screen now, the Wilhelm eHockey Tour, of course, stops all around Finland every single weekend. Sportsgamer.gg has everything that you need. It's in its time. Game 3.
I got the spring thing going behind me. My background's better.
Yeah, it is actually. Look at that. How'd that happen at the last moment? Who knows? But that did look pretty sweet. The game is underway, potentially. We had a disconnect, didn't we? We did. Another disconnect. Another restart. Let's throw it to a break so you don't see me bash my head against the wall. We'll be right back. All right, everybody. We are back. Again, a big thank you there for sticking with us. Appreciate that greatly. We are just about ready to begin game number 3. We need some prayer circles going here.
Good vibes in chat.
Good vibes only. Will this third game start? No disconnects, no take-backsies. It is game 3. hREDS and Conquer Gaming. It looks like we are okay to continue on here. It is Conquer in their road whites, hREDS in, well, what color do you think hREDS are wearing? It's Conquer now down 2-0 in this series after one of the most heartbreaking overtime losses you will ever see. See how they respond. And again, Sin, you kind of mentioned that was admittedly not hRED's best game. Those are the games that you need to take advantage of, though, when you know that you didn't really get the 100%, I don't want to say effort from hREDS. Opportunities there. Faye is able to keep that one out. Katanarski down injured for the moment for Conquer. Those are just the games that you need to take advantage of.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's that's what's got to be so heartbreaking for Conquer. Like, just not only the manner in which they dropped that game, but kind of the opportunities that were there for the taking. There is Benito, odd angle shot, but hRED's not afraid to kind of take those. Is looking for a quick one, but I've liked Conquer's start to this one as well. They're getting a bit hemmed in right now, but they got a couple chances earlier on here.
I would argue the masters of the odd angle shot. D to D, save, rebound, scores! Opportunistic as ever, Villapoika in front, hREDS start off the first period with the goal.
And like we mentioned in that last game, it's so often him finding himself in those loose puck positions here. And, you know, call it a dirty goal, call it blue collar, call it what you will. Villapoika continues to find himself in those locations. Those are great timing plays from the entire team. An incredible hockey IQ and positioning from Villapoika. Cleans it up. 1-0 for hREDS here. It's not the start that Conquer wants, but that's exactly what hREDS want to see. I'm sure they're not happy about that last game going to overtime or happy with their performance. They're looking to get back to their, their ways of how that first game went, 8-0.
So the start that hREDS were certainly looking for. Take that commanding lead. Rebound again. Great job by the defense, though. Get in front of that one. Domi able to keep it in. On the back, Villapoika tries to go in front. Nikkei's there. Nowhere to go. That pass intercepted by Vire. Let's see how Conquer end up responding here. Trailing a 1-0 here early on in this first period. We have Apes. Tries to go across. hREDS is there. Can he get the feed for Vire? He does. He has a bit of a step. Domi catches up and takes away the opportunity. Vire wanted that wraparound. Ginu can't get the shot on. Gadanarski at the point. Blocked down by the traffic. hREDS back in the attacking zone. It's Benito. Can't hold on to that one. We have Apes has that poked away.
Ginu's been kind of running on a bit. No stamina here, at least for about the last 5 minutes here. There's so much back and forth action.
Been paying attention to that, too. He hasn't had a moment to rest. There's Domi. That one intercepted, but handed right back for hREDS now. Benito tries to get down low. Nicky dangles. By him, Villapoika. Able to do so. Apes back for Domi. Good contact there to send it back to the neutral zone. Puck dumped in. Caught on 4 in the corner. hREDS come up with it. Once again, knocked back towards center ice. Conquer now in control. Ginu. Send that one down low, perhaps. hREDS have had an answer for everything Conquer have thrown at them in this first period so far. Fast-paced first period, to say the least. Domi. Back for Apes. He'll dump it in. Just beyond the blocker. Final minute already of this first period. Get used to this.
Absolutely, and just a nice little play right there. You see Conquer trying to do their own version of the blue line stand right there, and hREDS, they're like, all right, let's not pound our head against that wall. They went back to the dump and chase. It worked out, getting the game-winning goal in that in the game 2, in the last one that we saw, and they go right back to it. They ended up getting a good forecheck. I think it was Benito down low and knocking that puck loose. Nice poke from hREDS there. Can they get a chance?
And a penalty called. hREDS went to pick up the puck. He didn't get it. Made contact with the defender and ends up taking the penalty.
That's a bit unfortunate there. I think he was thinking he was going to grab the puck and then maybe get a quick shot on from an odd angle, just try to kind of jam play that home with guys crashing the net with the seconds that they had left. But now, no set play going to come from that. But hREDS will have a power play to start off the next period. And a pretty good situation that they find themselves in. Going to see Vire with a couple big hits there. This one was the one that kind of started that play where he would have had a breakaway had it not been from Domi with that exceptional back check. And so that's the problem. Even when you think you have a clear look, you saw hREDS, charged up that pass, try to give Vire as much speed as possible. Domi still able to catch up to him, still able to make the defensive play. And it's just so hard to find those chances against hREDS. And again, we say it all the time, and even if you get him, you got to beat FaZe. So, every single chance is important, and due to FaZe back there, not too many of them are going to go in. It's almost like you're starting a game against hREDS kind of already in a deficit, and that's a hard mentality to kind of battle back from. And, well, in this one, they're down by 1. If maybe fortunate for them, they're only down by that single goal, but at the same time, it's so hard to be able to generate that offense, and they're starting this period shorthanded here. If hREDS are able to get another goal, it could spell trouble for Conquer.
Second period underway. Indeed, still about a full power play to work with. See if Conquer are able to make anything happen. Blown out in game 1, a competitive game 2. An opportunity there, and they score. Benito kind of walking that one in 2-0 in favor of hREDS.
Yeah, kind of walked it into the zone, then walked it right into the net as well. Benito, just nice little play. It was a good pass down. He kind of took it off of his skate right there, and no shot needed, just kind of guiding that one in. It's a bit curious. It looked like there was maybe a bit of contact with the goaltender, but perhaps not enough to deem that worthy to be called back. Although you think back to that potential play with between Sabo and Havu yesterday, where there wasn't much of contact, and it got called back.
2-0 now in favor of the defending champions, Conquer. Unfortunately, it goes from bad to worse. Might be left at the end of the day thinking about what could have been. But a game 2 overtime, Yalkin. That's at least 5 to 10. Attempted manslaughter charge. Gonna have a hard time shaking that one. Benito tried to get that in front. Very able to pick it up. Does he have the speed? I mean, very few do, and it is incredible the recovery speed that the defense pair has for hREDS.
Absolutely. Tries to get that self-sauce, but it's just what that comes down to for me is incredible stamina management, and that's so important for defensemen. Domi, King of Apes, perhaps the best at it. They're so good at managing their stamina, so when they enter in those situations, you saw both of them. Burst of speed, collapsing on the puck carry, defensive skill sticks out. Dangerous pass right there. Monkey Head handles it and passes it out, and they're able to disrupt those plays like that, and we've seen that a lot here from Conquer. Their forwards oftentimes, with all the back and forth, they don't have those full stamina bars. We obviously don't have Vire on screen, but don't know what his stamina's like. Is a in-tight chance there from Villapoica, but
pick off here by Yerax again, trying to generate speed down the other way. Yalkin up there with him. Yerax's shot saved. Job here to win that puck back. Yerax, opportunity for Vire there, and FaZe stops it after heavily committing that glove side, or excuse me, that blocker side to his right.
Absolutely. That almost looked like a very rare panic slide coming out from FaZe, but he still kept the puck out as Vire shot on the backhand, just couldn't find pay dirt.
That play off the draw, broken up by Nike. Gonna win the race to this puck easily. Back for Domi again down low. Pressure there by Domi on that step-up hit. The back for Villapoica. His shot blocked. Good movement. Great glove save by Monkey Head as we hit the halfway point of the period. And remember that one if there's a comeback effort here.
Absolutely. It's a tremendous positional save right there from Monkey Head. A lot of lateral movement he had to do as that puck was entering kind of behind the net area. It's a one-time shot from Domi goes wide. He's able to just stay on that right there and gloves that one down. As you said, that's a big one here. If Conquer are able to get one next few minutes, remember it.
Good save. It's in the air, and it's in. I do not recommend any members of Conquer Gaming to buy any lottery tickets or anything else that involves luck. How snake-bitten is this team tonight? My goodness.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And for Monkey Head, after just making that tremendous save, to have that happen as well, the shot on the bouncing puck, and if you're a goaltender, there's really nothing, there's no good option in that scenario. You stay right there, it bounces off your back and go, and you slide over, trying to let that not happen. Well, you're also sliding right out of the net, so kind of stuck in no man's land right there, just hoping that RNGesus comes to save you. He did not in that case, and hREDS up 3-0.
A power play coming up for the defending champions as well. Excuse me, the opposite there. My bad, I misread that. It's all the red. We need some more diverse colors here, boys. There's so many colors out there, and half the team's like, you know what? We need more red. So power play coming up here for Conquer. If they were ever going to have an opportunity to get back into it, well, it just went past the stick of Katanarski. They're forced to hold up. Yalkin. This one played by FaZe in the air, and Pop fly.
Yeah.
Routine fly ball to right.
Can of corn for FaZe right there. Gloves that one down.
If only we could get to the days of MLB The Show. Competitive nines. They have a good shortstop there. That is the dream, of course. Sports Gamer presents MLB The Show 9v9. I want it. Unfortunately, Conquer just not able to break their way into the zone. Finally, a bit of space. Puck off that right half wall. Yalkin. Poked away. It will be a foot race won by Katanarski. Had a steam from him. That pass in front, nobody home. On the back of the net, Vera, great back skate. Threw it to the pads of FaZe, but he's able to track it down.
Unfortunately for them, it didn't bounce off FaZe's pads and then in, so no such luck for Conquer here. But again, you're seeing that kind of L skate from behind the net. A little bit of the habits from the 1v1 meta creeping in.
Vera hit right as he got the puck. Katanarski around the back. Pass up, and again, hREDS able to stifle him at the blue line. Apes throws it across, just out of the reach of Villapoica. Domi has that one picked off, and they are simply the best at breaking those up. It's unbelievable. Make a shot, rebound, great saves again by Monkey Head.
A couple big saves right there. After the initial shot and then the rebound, they're going with the slap pass play, but it won't be the greatest. He will have the drop.
Off the pipe! So close for Katanarski. His FaZe glitching into the matrix as he passes that one out. We go to the third, 3-0 hREDS.
I mean, Conquer is already up against it, playing hREDS in this first round, but to have puck luck be going against them at this stage, I mean, why do you always give me your toughest battles, says Conquer Gaming. They're in that scenario right now, and good gracious, they just simply cannot buy a bit of puck luck right here, cannot buy a goal. Puck off the back of their goaltender in, the overtime winner from last game, hitting the pipe right here. Oh, they're getting so close. It's not like they're playing bad by any means. They could at least had a goal, maybe even two in this game, and it's simply not going their way right now. They're finding opportunities. They're taking shots. They're not allowing hREDS to completely dominate them, and that's what you love to see. They just simply can't get rewarded on the scoring sheet the way that they need to so far, and this keeps going. Third period, it's a 3-goal deficit to overcome. It's hard to see them not fall down 3-0 in this series.
You know, it's tough to find the words at this stage for Conquer Gaming. I mean, again, we didn't get to watch Game 1. But certainly throughout Game 2 and now here in Game 3, the series has been closer than it's looked, as that is the problem. You do get some space, and then you have to try to beat FaZe. Big save there.
Yeah, tremendous save. Yeah, and the thing about FaZe is he doesn't care the amount of shots he faces. He just always seems to be on his game. It's kind of scary. Like, is he even human, man? Like, it's got to be a robot back there.
A huge hit in the corner. Shot by Ginu is stopped. From the looks of it, barring a historic comeback, hREDS will also carry a 3-0 series lead into tomorrow's final day of quarterfinals in action. Conquer will have another power play chance here. Again, it is also a 3-0 series lead for Goons over Urabro. It's our featured contest tomorrow. Now tied at 2-2, so it's essentially a best of 3. Sawo and Havu. We'll get other coverage in there if we can. So make sure to tune in tomorrow, same time, 1945 CEST, at 1:45 p.m. Eastern, for those of you on the North American side of things. Arax brings us back into the zone. BRA across, and they score! A lot of time left to be played here in the third period. Is that perhaps what they needed to maybe get that bit of a pushback going?
Really nice play right there, and I like to see that coming out from Vide right there. Kind of pulls it on the forehand, baits the shot out a little bit, sends it across, but he sends it across with space, with a charged up pass to give it the best chance of going through. It goes through. hREDS puts it home on the back door. 3-1 now. Like you said, a breath of life for this team.
Ray has it. The power play tally. Got him back into it. What a play by Villapoica. He's in all alone, and he scores.
Just
3-1 now.
Sick aggression coming out from Villapoica right there. Katanarski, he had time and space in that situation. He's just got to rip that one on net. No one on the ice feels worse than he does right now. He just was looking to make a specific play, and you simply can't do that when those forwards are bearing down in you the way they were. Villapoica coming seemingly out of nowhere with that defensive skill stick, knocks it loose. That's his hat trick goal in this one. Back to a 3-goal lead for hREDS.
Yeah, mistakenly on my part saying 3-1, meaning it's back to a 3-goal lead.
How dare you make mistakes?
What happens? How dare I indeed? Villapoica makes it 5-1. And we'll see a timeout here from Conquer as, again, the window of opportunity, due to some fault of their own, but certainly some bad luck. But that window of opportunity slammed shut right in their collective face.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's exactly the kind of team that hREDS is the second. They kind of gauge that they have an advantage. They pounce. You saw it from Villapoica right there. And then, Conquer Gaming, from getting that goal, feeling like, okay, maybe we got a shot, to the disheartening feeling afterwards. And hREDS jumps right back on top of it. Fed out front for Villapoica, his 4th of the game. And with a 5-1 lead now, 2 goals straight from hREDS. I think you hit the nail on the head. That window of opportunity has been slammed shut, and hREDS well on their way to a 3-0 series lead.
Tough times for Conquer Gaming. Again, just how that overtime went about in Game 2. Katanarski's shot that hit the post. I'm sure they had measured expectations. There will still be at least one game played tomorrow. I hope for Conquer's sake they get at least one win out of this series, because I think they very well could have gotten a win out of this series, especially out of that second game. A lot of puck luck sin is often just, chalked up as that, but a lot of it's generated by the team themselves getting themselves into those positions to be lucky. And hREDS are perhaps the best at that. But at the same time, my goodness, if Conquer had some horrible luck.
Yeah, and really unfortunate for them as they try a slap pass here. It was a perfect bounce right there, but unfortunately, Vide just, once again, you can't beat Domi and King of Apes back there. But, I mean, we make that point all the time when it comes to Villapoica. How does he always find himself in those, situations to get that loose puck? It's the team around him making the correct plays and his positioning, right? So, you can definitely make that argument at times. Yes, the puck luck is, sucks to see, but it's also just the shutdown defense of hREDS to make all those little chances. There's EC Villapoica wind up and take a blast in the slot. All those little chances, everyone that goes by the wayside means that everything else is so much more important.
More great saves from Monkey Head here with the back stretch of the third period, and we have a charging call, to say the least. Villapoica going to the box.
Yeah, there's a few strides over, too.
If you hit a guy from blue line to blue line, though, I think you should get away with it. I think he had the distance. Oh, that's what we need. The
curling ECL edition.
The ECL Olympics. Coming soon to a channel near you.
Not mine.
Hopefully mine. Hopefully mine. We'll just make up our own memes. It'll be a fun time. Who can score from center ice? We'll call that the javelin or the shot put. Going for distance. Katanarski has it here again. That hit post on one of his shots earlier in the game really kind of turned the tide of this one. Great job to get that one back out of the zone.
With just about 30 seconds left, that should do it. That's Domi all the way up the ice, shorthanded, pressuring the puck carrier. Don't think this team's confident.
He's going for distance. Faze cleared it all the way out. Now off the pad, we are back to 5-on-5. Yarax over again for Katanarski. In front, Domi's there. 3-on-2 the other way here for hREDS. Under 5 minutes to play. Benito, big save by Monkeyhead. Yalkin for Katanarski, the big spin. Back to Yalkin, big save by FaZe, who does play it out. This one rolling, twirling to freedom in the final 3 minutes of regulation.
I just saw a little cheeky slash attempt coming up from Nicky Dangles on that one right there. But offensive zone draw here for Conquer. See if they could get at least a feel-good goal or something here at this stage.
Shot blocked down again by the man in front. And another stop by FaZe. No shutout to play for at this point, so yeah, why not pass it out? That clock going. Domi, great block by Yalkin, and unfortunately the puck just keeps bouncing and finds its way to Benito.
Beautiful
My
work.
goodness.
Just picture perfect. Just keep firing that puck on net. Domi kind of getting involved in the action. First shot block, gets it back. Second shot hits off a body, and then you see two hREDS players at either side of the net predicting where that bounce is kind of gonna go. Benito is the beneficiary of it in that situation. Picks it up, puts it in the back of the net. 6-1 now with just 1:02 remaining here. And now at this point, it's just how many goals do hREDS want to score?
6-1 your score. hREDS will have a 3-0 series lead heading into the final day of our quarterfinals tomorrow. Again, priority will be the 2-2 series split between Sabo Esports and Havu, the battle of 3 versus 6. We'll have the conclusion, whether 2 or 3 games for that one. And if possible, we'll jump over to the final games of potentially this series, and of course as well, you have Goons and Urabro Hockey. Goons going to be in the same spot as hREDS with a 3-0 series lead. I have no idea what even just happened there, and somehow it wasn't a goal.
I was expecting it to be a goal with the amount of puck luck that Conquer's been faced with. This one, it was like a loose puck that bounced off a skate through Monkeyhead and then off the post.
Final 30 seconds here of game number 3. A power play for hREDS. Because why not? Yalkin, who's been a very physical player in this game. Yeah, not quite blue line to blue line, but still got some good distance on that hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Need the sweeps behind him to kind of increase on that and put it in good scoring range. We're fully committed to the ECL Olympics at this point. The memes are real.
Domi shot, blocker saved by Monkeyhead. Final 10 seconds. hREDS heading into tomorrow. 1 win away from moving on to round number 2. We do not have any inclination yet of who they will be playing. That certainly does depend on what happens in that Sawo-Havu matchup. It would be Havu if Havu wins. Or, of course, the battle of 4 and 5. If Sawo were to win. But again, hREDS still need one more win. And with as bad a luck as Conquer Gaming had today, well, tomorrow's a new day. I can't imagine it getting much worse as, yep. And, you know, I oftentimes for some teams, we're like, hey, can you stick around? Can you show the replays? We know it sucks. Guys, we understand. We totally understand. I won't fault you for it. I won't at all. No problems for me, at the very least, with that decision. Sim, with that game being a blowout, we pretty much got to discuss, of course, everything that happened today and everything heading into tomorrow. I'll throw it already over to your kind of final thoughts on the day and what we saw here, both on stream and, of course, what we know for off stream.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be very interesting tomorrow to see how that Sawo and Havu series plays out, Havu coming back and evening it right back up, that has officially become the most interesting one. The Ferlinda series is over. Goon surprising some, just absolutely obliterating Edinburgh and taking a 3-0 series lead. And of course, hREDS doing what everyone thought they could and taking a 3 over Conquer, although that second game was very close as Conquer nearly got that OT win and made this a 2-1 series, but fortunately for them, down 3-0.
So with that, everybody, it has been a bit of a marathon broadcast for us. Lord knows I could use a nap, so we'll throw it, to the end of this broadcast. We will be back tomorrow, though, wrapping up round 1. By this time tomorrow, we will know who our Final Four is in the Elite Division. For now, we will say goodbye. Big thank you to everyone involved with the cast. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching, and good night.